Humiliation doesn't always start with a scream. Sometimes, it begins with a smile. The restaurant breathes quiet elegance. Crystal catches the afternoon light. Silverware gleams against white linen. Soft conversations melt into an expensive whisper. Everything feels untouchable, perfect, safe. But near the kitchen doors, something is wrong. Emily Parker stands frozen, a tray trembling in her hands. Her breathing, shallow, uneven. Her eyes locked on a table across the room. 3 men in tailored suits, laughing like the world was made for them alone. Not the warm kind of laughter. The sharp kind. The kind designed to hurt. She knows this feeling. She's lived this feeling. Eyes that look through her. Like she's nothing but background. Furniture. Invisible until needed. Dismissed the second after. They lower their voices, just enough, to force her to lean closer, only to pull back at the last second. A stumble. A smirk. A cruelty meant to remind her of her place. Her fingers tighten around the tray. She feels her wedding ring beneath the glove. Hidden. Secret. Safe. Proof she has a life beyond this room. Proof someone sees her worth. But right now, that truth feels far away. Then, a voice slices the air. Hey, sweetheart. You gonna stand there daydreaming? Or do they not teach you to move fast? In whatever school you went to. Chad Barker. Arrogant smile. Friends snickering on cue. Kyle and Ryan. Not because it's funny. Because power turns cruelty into a joke. Emily forces a smile. A professional mask. Perfectly practiced. I'll be right with you, sir. Sir. Chad repeats the word like a comedy bit. Hear that, boys? At least she knows her place. Eyes from nearby tables flick up, then away. Silence is safer than courage. Emily approaches. Steps heavy. Room shrinking. Light suddenly too bright, highlighting every tiny flaw she can't hide. Her scuffed shoes. Her shaking hands. Her fear. Chad leans back, enjoying every second. So what's your story? Big dreams of escaping this place? Or is serving people like us the best you'll ever do? Kyle smirks. Some people are just born to serve. It's in their nature. Ryan laughs. Genetics. You can't fight it. Their words bruise places no one sees. Emily sets their drinks down. Voice fragile. Controlled. Is there anything else I can? Chad lifts his glass. Slow. Deliberate. You can tell us, what's it like? Breaking your back every day, and still ending up here. He motions around the room like it's a prison. Serving. Watching. Never belonging. She swallows hard. I'm just doing my job, sir. He smiles. Cold. Well, you're not very good at it. Then, the humiliation. Liquid splashes across her uniform. Cold. Shocking. Cruel. Gasps. Whispers. Eyes staring. No one helping. Emily stands frozen. Shaking. Trying not to fall apart. Across the room. A chair slides back. Quiet, but final. Ethan Collins rises. Jaw locked. Hands clenched. Fury roaring behind his eyes. He walks. Slow, controlled steps. That feel like thunder in the floorboards. Emily looks up. Her husband. Coming toward her. Toward them. His expression. Cold. Deadly. Unstoppable. And for the first time since the drink hit her skin, Emily feels fear. Not of Chad. Not anymore. Fear of what Ethan is about to do next. Silence. Not empty, but terrified. Conversations don't stop. They die. Voices fade into nothing. Because every eye senses the shift in the air, the storm crossing the room. Ethan Collins walks. Slow, controlled, lethal. His suit immaculate. His posture royal. But his eyes are darkness barely caged. A warning written in a language only fear can read. People step aside without thinking. Instinct stronger than curiosity. Chad doesn't notice. Too busy laughing at his own cruelty. Kyle pours more liquor. Ryan breathes arrogance. They think power is permanent, infinite, guaranteed. But Emily sees it. Sees Ethan coming. And panic floods her veins like ice. She knows that look. The look of a man who would burn the world to protect what he loves. Ethan. Her voice breaks before the sound reaches him. He stops at their table. A shadow made solid. Chad finally looks up. Arrogant grin still glued to his face. Can we help you, buddy? We're kind of. Stand up. Ethan's voice isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. The room hears it anyway. Chad blinks. What did you say? Stand up. Ice. Steel. Order. Kyle and Ryan exchange a look. This isn't funny anymore. Chad forces a laugh, but it fractures in his throat. Look, man, I don't know who you think you are, but... Ethan leans in. Hands flat on the table. Eyes locked on the man who dared hurt his heart. I know exactly who I am. Do you know who you just disrespected? The blood drains from Chad's face. It was just a joke. She's just a... Ethan's voice becomes a knife. Barely a whisper. Finish it. Go on. Finish that sentence. Silence eats the room alive. Emily rushes to him, hands shaking, gripping his arm like she's trying to hold back a tidal wave. Ethan, please, it's okay. Let's just... His hand covers hers. Gentle. Protective. The opposite of his voice. It's not okay. It will never be okay. Her breath catches. Her world tilts. Chad stands, trying to look big again. But size means nothing when a lion is already biting down. Why don't you walk away before? Before what? Ethan smiles. Cold enough to stop hearts. Before you call security? Before you have me removed from my own establishment? A bomb dropped. What? Chad whispers. Ethan straightens. His voice carries, commanding the entire room. This restaurant? Mine. This building? Mine. The car you drove here in. The black Mercedes with the stupid vanity plates. Financed through one of my companies. Also mine. Kyle and Ryan turn ghost white. Ethan doesn't stop. He's not finished. You humiliated my employee. Threw a drink on her like she was nothing. His grip tightens around Emily, claiming her, shielding her, loving her. She's not nothing. His voice shakes now, rage fused with heartbreak. She's my wife. Gasps explode through the room. Emily's world shatters. The secret she protected so fiercely, now exposed to everyone. Chad stumbles back. You're joking. Ethan pulls Emily closer, his body a fortress around her. My wife. The woman you thought you could destroy for fun. Kyle stammers. We didn't know. Ethan's stare turns to steel. You shouldn't need to know. Decency isn't earned by power. He rises to his full height. And in that moment, he is not a man. He is a warning. You're done here. All three of you. The room stops breathing. Chad finally understands. The man standing before him is someone who can end him with a single word. Ethan doesn't shout. He doesn't have to. He simply lifts a hand. A gesture barely there, yet powerful enough to shift the atmosphere. 2 security guards appear instantly. Silent, precise, prepared. Because power doesn't ask. Power expects. Escort these gentlemen out. Immediately. Chad's face collapses. Wait. Hold on. You can't just. I can. Ethan's voice is winter. And I am. Kyle rises first. Hands up. Surrender already in his bones. Ryan follows, mumbling apologies that no one hears. Chad remains frozen, his confidence crumbling into fear. Mr. Collins, please. This is all a misunderstanding. We were just having fun. Fun. Ethan spits the word like poison. Humiliating another human being is fun to you? I'm sorry. I'll. Chad's eyes dart to Emily. Desperation. Terror. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was. Ethan steps between them. A wall of wrath. Don't speak to her. Don't look at her. Not ever again. Emily grips the back of Ethan's jacket, feeling him tremble. He's holding back a hurricane for her sake. Ethan, she breathes, broken. Please, just let them go. His hand finds hers. A gentle promise in the middle of a battlefield. The guards pull Chad from his chair. He struggles, then crumbles. Legs barely holding him. He's no predator now. Just prey. But Ethan isn't finished. He raises his voice. The whole restaurant becomes his audience. Chad Barker, Kyle Morrison, Ryan Chen. Your names are now banned from every one of my establishments. Gasps ripple through silk and diamonds. You won't get service. You won't get reservations. You won't be welcome anywhere my influence reaches. Chad shakes his head, panic in every breath. You can't. My father, he has connections. Ethan smiles. Sharp. Deadly. Let's call him. He dials. The entire room listens. Telephone receiver. Robert Barker speaking. Robert. Ethan Collins. The calm before execution. I'm calling about your son. A beat of dread. Is everything all right? No. The word drops like a verdict. He humiliated my wife today. Assaulted her. Laughed while he did it. The reaction on the other end is instant. Rage, fear, shame all spilling through one breath. Ethan, please, let me fix this. You can't. Ethan's tone slices deeper. I'm terminating every contract with your family. All agreements. As of right now. Ethan, that's 20 years of. Actions have consequences. Maybe now. He'll learn that. Call ended. Partnership ended. Legacy ended. Chad's legs fold. Guards hold him up. Drag him out. The doors close. The silence screams. Then, the whispers begin. The rumor wildfire. Emily stands in the storm. Drenched uniform. Tear-streaked face. And now, exposed. Every secret she guarded. Every fear she swallowed. Now painted across the entire restaurant. Some stare with sympathy. Some with envy. Others, judgment so sharp she can feel it slice. Gold digger. Social climber. Trapped him. Everything she dreaded. Her breath stutters. Chest tightens. Vision blurs. I can't. I need to. She tears away from Ethan's grasp. And runs. Not through the dining room. She can't face their eyes. She escapes to the back. To the real restaurant. The one with sweat and metal and bleach. She collapses against her locker. Folds into herself. Shaking. Sobs break free. Violent. Uncontrollable. A door opens. Footsteps. Ethan kneels beside her. His voice stripped of power. Reduced to pure heartbreak. Emily, please look at me. She shakes her head. Words falling apart. They all know. They're going to think. They already think. I don't care what they think. But I do. Raw pain rips through her words. I never wanted to be the girl who married a billionaire. I never wanted people to look at me and only see money. I didn't want this life. Her voice breaks, but the truth doesn't. I just wanted to be enough. Her whisper becomes a confession. Just me. Enough. Ethan freezes. Heart reality hitting hard. He protected her from the world, but never understood what she was truly fighting. Ethan doesn't let go. His hands hold her face. Thumbs wiping tears that can't stop coming. He studies her. Like he's finally seeing the part she hid most carefully. The wound behind every smile. When he speaks, his voice breaks open. You've always been enough. Emily shakes her head. A tiny, hopeless motion. You don't understand. Then help me understand. He shifts, sitting on the cold floor beside her, pulling her into the safety of his chest. Arms wrapping around her like a shield against a world too cruel. Talk to me, he whispers. Please. For a moment. She can't speak. Just breathes him in. The scent she knows better than anything. Not the cologne. Not the wealth. Just, Ethan. When I met you, she begins, voice trembling. You were just, you. The man who ordered the same coffee every morning. And always tipped with kindness. Who asked about my day. And actually listened. Who looked at me. Like I mattered. You do matter. More than you know. But then I found out. Her voice cracks. Who you were. What you owned. And I almost ran. Because I knew people would say. I was only there for the money. That I used you. That I was lucky. She looks up. Eyes filled with a lifetime of insecurity. They'll see me as the waitress. Who married a billionaire. The gold digger. The nobody who got a golden ticket. Ethan's jaw tightens with fury he can't use. Anyone who thinks that doesn't know you. But that's the point. Tears fall harder. They never will. She grips his jacket. Desperate to hold onto something real. I wanted to protect us. To keep what we have pure. Not something they twist into a headline. I wanted people to see me. Not your money. Not your name. Just me. Ethan takes her hands. Lacing fingers like saying you and I are one. You are you, he says fiercely. With or without me. Brilliant. Kind. Stronger than anyone out there. Pretending to be above you. Ethan. He doesn't let her look away. I fell in love with you. For exactly who you are. You built your life. With your own strength. Your own heart. You earned every step. Every victory. Every scar. She tries to believe him. But the voices of shame are loud. And now they all know, she whispers. And I can't change it. They're already judging me. Then let them. His tone. Steel wrapped in love. At the end of the day, I'm the one who gets to come home to you. I'm the one who sees you laugh. At ridiculous movies at 3 a.m. I'm the one you protect, even when you think you're not doing anything at all. He lifts her left hand, removing the glove that hid the truth, presses his lips to the gold band. This ring doesn't mean I own you. It means you chose me, and that is the greatest honor of my life. Her breath shatters into a sob, but this time, it's not humiliation. It's release. I was so scared, she confesses, that everything would change, that I would change, that you'd wake up and see me as someone you have to protect, not someone worth standing beside. Ethan pulls her closer still. You are my equal, the one person I trust above anyone else. Yes, I'll protect you, but I also need you to protect me. She blinks, confused by the weight of his words. Protect you? From what? From becoming the kind of man who forgets what matters. His forehead touches hers, a promise held in breath. You keep me human, Emily. You remind me that power without compassion is just cruelty, that having everything means nothing if I can't share it with you. His confession shakes the air. I need you, more than you need me. Emily cups his face, hands trembling, feeling the fear he tried so hard to hide. I love you, she whispers. So much. I'm just tired of being afraid. Then stop hiding, he pleads. Stop apologizing for existing. Stand with me, not behind me, beside me, as my wife, as my partner, as the woman who makes me better. Every single day. She wants to. God, she wants to. What if I can't? Small, vulnerable. I'll wait, he says instantly. As long as it takes. You are worth waiting for. Silence, full of truth and fragile hope. Emily nods. Small at first, then stronger. Okay. His eyes soften, shining. Okay. Yes. She wipes her tears, voice steadier. I can't promise I won't be scared, but I promise I'll try. His smile, the one she fell for, breaks like sunrise. That's everything I ever wanted. He stands, offers his hand. She rises with him, broken pieces slowly realigning. What now? She asks. He smiles, a spark of mischief beneath love. Now, we go back out there, together, and show them exactly who we are. Her pulse races, fear and courage colliding. I'm not ready. You don't have to be ready. He lifts her hand, sure and steady. You just have to not be alone. And in that moment, she finally understands. Being enough was never about money, or judgment, or status. It was about being truly seen by the one who loves her most. They stay there, in that narrow hallway, hands clasped together, breathing the same fragile air. Emily's heart finally begins to calm. Her tears slow. The fear doesn't disappear. But now, she can breathe through it. Ethan gently reaches up, adjusting a loose strand of her hair. A tiny gesture, so tender, so intimate. It almost breaks her all over again, but this time, in a way that heals. Ready? He asks, soft, careful. She nods. Barely. Ready. They walk together, back through the staff door, and as they step into the dining room, the restaurant falls silent. Again. But this time, Emily doesn't run. She stands tall, chin lifted, shoulders drawn back against the weight of 100 stares. Whispers move like wind, but she keeps moving, because he's beside her. Ethan doesn't rush. He doesn't hide. His hand stays in hers. Visible, undeniable. A declaration stronger than any speech. They stop in the center of the room. Every eye is locked on them. Every breath held. Ethan speaks, his voice clear, commanding, cutting through the silence like a blade. What you saw today, he says, isn't rare. It isn't isolated. His gaze sweeps the room. It is part of a culture that measures worth by wealth, and treats those who serve as less. Uneasy shifting. A wave of shame passing table to table. He continues, steady, unshakable. My wife works here because she believes in honest work. A pause. A claim. A reminder. That is strength, not weakness. Emily squeezes his hand. He squeezes back. From now on, Ethan says, anyone who disrespects a single staff member will leave. No warnings. No second chances. Some nod. Some look away. That's all. Enjoy your meals. He turns, leading her toward the manager's office. But a soft voice stops them. Mrs. Collins? Emily turns. An older woman, gentle eyes, warm smile, rises from her seat. That was brave, she says. You should be proud. A small smile breaks through Emily's trembling lips. Thank you. Then, other voices. Quiet at first. Building. Good for you. Well done. She deserved respect. Not everyone speaks. Not everyone approves. But something in that room changes. Ethan guides her into the office. Door closes. Silence returns. He stands close, steady as a wall. Are you okay? He asks. She exhales, slow, honest. Ask me tomorrow. A soft smile touches his lips. Fair enough. A knock. Marcus enters. Concern in his eyes. Your parents are here, he says, and they're demanding to speak with you. Emily's stomach tightens. She knows what's coming. Ethan, tell them I'm busy. Marcus. They didn't accept that answer. Emily touches Ethan's arm, grounding him, grounding herself. We face this together. He looks at her and sees strength she doesn't yet see in herself. Together, they exit, approach the entrance. Richard and Victoria Collins wait, like marble statues carved from disapproval. Richard, we need to talk. In private. Ethan, no. Anything you say in front of my wife. Victoria spits the word like poison. Your wife. Emily stands firm. No flinching. No shrinking. Richard, you embarrassed a powerful family. For this. He gestures at Emily like she's air. Like she's nothing. Ethan steps forward, shielding her, honoring her. For my wife. Steel in every syllable. I protected my wife. Victoria tries again. This is about choosing appropriate. Ethan laughs, sharp, humorless. You mean wealthy. You mean connected. You mean from your world. Richard snaps. She works as a waitress. Do you know what people are saying? Ethan, I don't care. Victoria's mask finally breaks. Anger spilling through. You are destroying everything we built for some. Ethan steps in. Voice low. Deadly. Finish that sentence. A beat. A threat. A promise. Please. Mother. A silence so violent. You can feel it. Tear the air apart. Cut. The moment hangs there. A battlefield of silence. Victoria's lips part. A word forming. Then dying. Her pride swallows it whole. But Richard is a man who has never learned to hold his tongue. For some girl who saw an opportunity and took it. His tone cuts like a scalpel, precise, cruel, designed to wound. Emily flinches, just once, because it hits the deepest truth she fears. That this has all been a mistake she never deserved. But Ethan, he moves before the pain can settle. He steps right into his father's space. Closer than comfort, closer than safety. Voice low, controlled, and lethal. You will never speak about her that way again. Not in public. Not in private. Not ever. Richard's eyes narrow. Ethan, I'm your father. And she is my wife. No hesitation. No doubt. Each word a wall between past and future. You disrespect her. You disrespect me. Ethan doesn't yell. He doesn't need to. Power, real power, whispers. Are you threatening me? Richard challenges, but his voice betrays him. I'm stating the new reality, Ethan replies. Calm. Deadly. Certain. You built this family's wealth, yes. But I expanded it. I made it matter. Every deal that keeps this dynasty alive exists because of me. Richard's breath slips. A tremor in the foundation. And here's what happens next. Ethan takes Emily's hand. Not to protect her behind him, but to bring her forward, equal, seen. You will apologize to my wife. You will respect her. And you will accept that she is my family. Or you will lose your son. Victoria gasps. Shattered elegance, perfect fear breaking through polished control. You wouldn't. Her voice quivers. Ethan's eyes soften. Only for a heartbeat. Try me. He turns fully toward them now. Unshakable. I spent years earning your approval. Trying to be the son you wanted. But I'm done. A breath. A choice. I choose her. Emily's tears fall. Not from weakness, but from being defended like she has value. Richard's facade fractures. His voice, no longer controlled. I apologize. That was inappropriate. Victoria forces the same words. Awkward in a mouth untrained in humility. Emily doesn't shrink. Doesn't hide. Just stands tall and says quietly, "Thank you." Ethan nods. This isn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it's a beginning. His parents retreat. Worlds smaller than they were when they entered. And then, a single pair of hands claps. The older woman. The first voice of support. Then, another. And another. Until applause fills every corner of the restaurant. A standing acknowledgement. Not of Ethan. Of her. Emily Collins. Seen. Respected. Home. She lets herself smile. Fragile, but real. You stood your ground, Ethan whispers. Emily leans into him. We stood it. Together. The applause swells. A curtain call for a version of Emily that no longer exists. She is reborn. Right there. In the place where she once felt small. The applause slowly fades, like the final echo of a storm. People return to their meals, but the air is different now. Heavier, quieter, changed. Ethan keeps his arm around Emily, holding her close, grounding her, because the adrenaline is gone, and what remains is exhaustion that reaches the soul. Marcus approaches, careful, respectful. Mr. Collins. Mrs. Collins. Your usual table is ready, if you'd like to sit down. Maybe have something to eat. Eat. The idea feels impossible. Yet Ethan nods. Thank you, Marcus. His voice is steady again, but Emily can feel the storm still beneath it. They walk to their corner booth, the one where Ethan always sits, the one where he watched her before anyone knew she was his. They sit close, shoulder to shoulder, skin to skin, and somehow that's enough to keep her from collapsing. A young server approaches, hands shaking slightly. Water? Coffee? His voice cracks as he speaks. Water is fine, Emily whispers. Ethan answers the same. The server walks away, glancing back twice, like he's just seen a legend born. Ethan turns to her, quiet, gentle. How do you feel? Emily thinks, truly thinks, like I survived something I wasn't supposed to survive. Like I'm relieved, but also terrified. Ethan nods. Both is allowed. Her eyes drift across the room, stares, whispers, opinions. Is it always going to be like this? She hates how small her voice sounds. For a while, Ethan admits. But scandals fade. Stories die. People move on. He takes her hand, guides it to his chest. His heartbeat is strong, steady. What matters is us, he says. You and me. Everything else is just noise. David returns with their water. Chef said, anything you want is on the house. Ethan smiles. I own the house, but please thank him for us. David nods quickly and escapes. Emily watches him go, and a realization surfaces. You do this a lot, she whispers. Make people feel safe, even when they're terrified of you. Ethan's eyes soften. I learned young that power without kindness is cruelty. She smiles, sad, proud. Is that why you noticed me? She asks. The girl who treated you like a person, not a bank account? Ethan chuckles softly. You laughed at my terrible joke about swimming to work in the rain. His eyes drift, remembering. You were real. Everyone else just performs. Emily laughs with him. A tiny spark of joy in the ruins of the day. So, what now? The question hangs heavy. I don't think I can keep working here like before, she says. I'm not invisible anymore. And I don't want to live in your shadow, either. You won't, Ethan says simply. You're too bright for shadows. He pauses. Then, what if this restaurant became yours? Emily freezes. Yours? You mean, mine. You know this place better than I do, he says. You know the staff. You know the problems. You know what needs to change. She stares at him, stunned. I'm a waitress. I don't run businesses. You run people's hearts every day, he counters. You make strangers feel seen. You'd make this place better than I ever could. Her pulse quickens. Fear, hope, possibility. You'd help me, she whispers. As much as you want. And not one step more. Emily looks around. And for the first time ever, she doesn't see someone else's world. She sees her future. She sees a place she could rebuild. With dignity, and courage, and love. Her shoulders rise in a shaky breath. Maybe I could do it. Ethan smiles. Proud, soft, completely in awe. You already are. And Emily realizes her life isn't exploding. It's beginning. A possibility settles over Emily's shoulders, heavy and hopeful all at once. She looks around the restaurant again. But now, she doesn't just see what it is. She sees what it could be. A future waiting to be claimed. I change things, she whispers. Not small things. Everything. Ethan's eyes soften. Tell me. Her voice gains strength with every word. Fair wages. real schedules, health insurance, opportunities based on talent, not on last names. A pause. Ideas flooding faster now. Training. Respect. A culture where kindness isn't optional. Ethan smiles, proud, inspired. You've been thinking about this for a long time. Every day, she admits. Every time someone was treated like they were invisible. She meets his gaze. I have notebooks full of ideas. Ethan's hand covers hers. I want to see every single page. Emily tries to laugh, but emotion chokes the sound. A fear rises, familiar, suffocating. What if I fail? Her voice trembles. What if I ruin everything you built? Ethan leans in. His tone is steady, unshakable. Then we learn. And we try again. But I don't think you'll fail, Emily Parker Collins. He squeezes her hands. I think you'll build something extraordinary. Silence falls. But not the fearful kind. The kind filled with possibility. You don't have to answer today, he says softly. Take time. Learn. Ask questions. He smiles gently. And when you're ready, if you're ready, the restaurant will be yours to lead. Emily breathes. Not the shaky breath of panic, but something new. Brave. Okay. She nods once. I'll think about it. For real. Not just long enough to talk myself out of it. That's all I ask. Marcus returns, placing 2 perfect slices of chocolate cake on the table. Emily stares at it, recognizes it. The dessert from our first date. Her voice softens. Ethan nods, almost shy. I made sure Chef always kept it ready, just in case we needed a memory. Her heart twists. This man sees her completely, not to control her, but to lift her. I love you, she says, not as comfort, but as certainty. He smiles, relief and devotion shining through. And I love you. Now eat. You'll need your strength. For what? She asks. To walk out that door with me. Through the front. Hand in hand. No hiding. Not anymore. Emily takes a bite. It tastes like chocolate. And courage. One condition, she says, steady now. I hold my head high. I look at everyone. And I stop being afraid. Ethan nods, like she just solved the world. Deal. They finish the cake slowly. The light outside shifts. Warm golden dusk gathering beyond the windows. Emily sets down her fork. I'm ready. They stand. Ethan adjusts his jacket. Emily smooths her uniform. Still stained with humiliation, but now worn like armor. As they pass the staff, Maria, the veteran waitress, gives a tiny smile, and mouths 2 words. About time. Emily almost cries again, but holds the tears back. Not sadness, not fear, strength. The host opens the door. Mr. Collins. Mrs. Collins. The title no longer scares her. She steps through, into evening light, into a future that finally feels like hers. Ethan leans close, whispering, where to now? Emily looks ahead. A slow, beautiful smile rises. Home. Hand in hand. They walk forward, and the world feels small compared to their love. For the first time, she isn't running away. She's walking toward her life. 3 months later. The restaurant is familiar, yet transformed. Warm light replaces the old cold elegance. Fresh flowers brighten every table. Local artists' paintings fill the walls, each signed, each for sale, each a reminder that this place now belongs to real people with real dreams. Emily walks through the dining room with a calm confidence she never imagined she'd feel here. Not as a waitress. Not as someone hiding. But as the owner. She passes by a bulletin board reserved for staff achievements. Maria's daughter accepted into college. David's scholarship to culinary school. A new staff member promoted to supervisor after just 2 months based on merit, not connections. Her lips curve into a quiet, proud smile. Marcus approaches, holding a tablet. Reservations are up 18% this quarter, he reports. Guests keep mentioning the atmosphere, how they feel welcomed the moment they enter. Emily nods. Good. That's the goal. Before she can speak again, Marcus adds. Your in-laws just arrived. Table 12. Emily exhales, steadying herself. They're trying. She knows that. But some wounds still ache. She approaches them with a grace she has earned. Victoria rises first. Her voice is softer than Emily remembers. The restaurant looks beautiful. Richard stands as well, clearing his throat. You've done well here. Short words, but meaningful ones. Emily thanks them gently, and then a voice slices through the room like a blade. You have got to be kidding me. Chad Barker storms inside, ignoring the host's attempt to stop him. Anger and bruised ego flare in his eyes. I came to make a reservation. But of course. You ruined that too. Emily turns fully toward him. No fear in her posture now. This restaurant enforces a very simple rule, she says, her voice clear and even. Dignity for everyone who enters. Respect for everyone who serves. Don't lecture me, Chad spits. You only have this place because you married money. The dining room stills. Every eye sharpens. Emily takes one step closer. I built this, she says. No one handed it to me. I earned every change you see here. You taught me something that day, Chad. He scoffs. Oh yeah. What? That people who belittle others are terrified of being powerless themselves. A murmur ripples across the restaurant. Chad tries to laugh it off, but his voice shakes. You think you're better than me now? Emily doesn't blink. No. I think I've always been better than the version of yourself you choose to be. Marcus appears at her side, firm and ready. Mrs. Collins, would you like me to remove him? Emily doesn't look away from Chad. The rules apply to every guest equally. He is not welcome here. Chad freezes. He can't fight power he no longer understands. He turns and storms out, leaving behind the last shred of superiority he once had. The door closes, and the room erupts into applause, staff, guests, even Richard and Victoria joining in. This time, Emily doesn't shrink. She lets it wash over her. A familiar voice reaches her from the entrance. Ethan, loosening his tie, smiling like she's sunlight in human form. I heard applause, he says, stepping close. Everything okay? Emily cups his cheek, her touch steady. Perfect. Richard looks at Ethan, then at Emily, and says something he's never said before. You chose right, son. Later that night, after the last table is cleared and the lights dim low, Emily stands in the center of the restaurant she once served in, now transformed by her courage. Ethan wraps his arms around her from behind. Do you regret anything that happened? He asks softly. She shakes her head. No. Because I stopped hiding. I stopped letting fear decide who I was allowed to be. She turns in his arms, meeting his gaze. Being seen, she whispers, is the greatest victory I've ever had. They kiss, slow, certain, a promise of everything they fought for, of everything still ahead. The camera pulls back. Warm light, soft laughter from staff finishing their night, the brass plaque shining at the entrance. Dignity for all who enter. respect for all who serve. If this story moved you, if you felt Emily's fear, Ethan's fury, or the power of standing up for what's right, then I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button, because stories like this, stories about dignity, respect, and refusing to accept cruelty as normal, they deserve to be heard, and they need people like you to help spread them. Leave a like if you believed in Emily, if you wanted her to win, if your heart raced when Ethan stood up for her. Turn on notifications so you never miss another story about people who refuse to stay small, who fight for what they deserve, who transform pain into power. And tell me in the comments, have you ever stood up to someone who thought they were better than you? What happened? How did it feel? Your story matters. Your voice matters. And this is just the beginning.